Good morning, friends. It's Bob again, bringing you a continuance of this idea of forgiveness and forgiving. And in particular, as we're talking about and continuing this conversation on when God prompts you to forgive someone, what is the response of your soul? Do you go and do that, or do you kind of hem and haw? Do you come up with all kinds of excuses of the reason why you wouldn't want to do that? Now, we're continuing that, and I was talking yesterday with you about this whole idea of that when God calls you to do that and you don't do it, it tends to hinder your prayer life and your intimacy with God. Today, I want to explore just another dimension of that, and that is that when you and I fail to or stop forgiving, what it will do is it will cause God's resources to not be available to us in crunch time when we need it. That grace that we need to be patient with that teenage, daughter or son, or that grace that we need to be able to give it with a grandparent or a parent or a fellow student or somebody that needs grace from us. We just don't seem to have the grace, and perhaps the reason why we don't have the grace is because we have cut off the flow. It's like there's a fountain of grace, and when we fail to forgive, we basically plugged up the fountain in all of these different ways. And so we're looking for that resource from God, but it's not coming. But it's not coming because God doesn't want to give it. It's not coming because we are not cooperating with what God has actually said and the Spirit's prompting to forgive. So again, I want to draw your attention to one of the consequences to not forgiving in our just normal walk with God, our normal time alone with God, our normal just grace that we need in interactions with people, even just driving, that those things will actually, those will stunt the resources of God from coming into our lives. So again, the moral of the story is forgive. If the Spirit is prompting you to forgive, start forgiving. Make the time today to forgive. Today. Make the time today to forgive. I love you. Thanks so much for joining me.